What's going on, dudes and dudettes? So a four-star edge I recently talked about in Justin Hill. It looks like he's going to set a commitment date for July 3rd. So that's coming up pretty soon. So we'll see where he ends up going. I think he's down to 4 schools, including USC. So hopefully it will be USC because he's one of the better talented 4-stars out there in next year's class. And then a couple of these next guys, I don't know if they are exactly committed or transferred. Some of them said either or if they are preferred walk-ons as well, where they come to USC and they're on the football team, but they don't get a scholarship right away. So bear with me, please, as I go through some of these names. There is a long snapper and Daniel Munier. Hopefully I'm saying that correct. I believe he entered the transfer portal from USC and probably has 3 years left of eligibility. So congrats to him, and we'll see where he ends up. So good luck, buddy. And then there was another long snapper that apparently committed to USC, and Devin McDonough. And I believe he's a long snapper because I guess he could play multiple positions down there. So we'll see. And like I said, I don't know if he's 100% committed or anything like that. So we'll have to find out soon enough. Another player was his Hawaiian punter in Cameron Sharangi, and he is transferring to USC. So, like I said, a lot of these guys are pretty much on the special teams and certain positions that aren't really going to exactly help USC right away, but maybe they will be able to in certain situations. But I guess he's already been in college, so it looks like this is more of like a regular transfer guy who's on a scholarship. Another player is a wide receiver in Colin Fossey, and it says he committed to USC, but he looks like he's more of a preferred walk-on in my opinion, because he's only like 5'11", and I believe he's part of that 2024 class as well. So like I said, could be a walk-on, could be a guy when he's saying committed, could be with a scholarship. I don't exactly know. Then another player is a JUCO, the number 1 punter / kicker in Ray Sanchez. He said that he committed to USC as well, and he's in the JUCO era, so it looks like it is a transfer. So we'll see. Like I said, they're bringing in a bunch of guys at almost the same positions, especially as kick specialists. So it's kind of weird that they're bringing in a lot of guys if they are on the same scholarship. So I guess they're gonna fight it out over the summer and eventually transfer out or just redshirt and go somewhere else. Excuse me, at the end of the year. And there is a number 1 JUCO wide receiver. I don't think he's number 1. He's just a regular JUCO wide receiver. And Eli Aragon. Hopefully, I think that was his last name. I forgot to officially look it up. But he looks like he was offered a preferred walk-on spot on the team. So, yeah, JUCO is obviously junior college. So these guys are getting some of their years taken away. But once they transfer, we'll see. Because like I said, a lot of these guys, like this last guy, was offered a preferred walk-on spot and not just a regular transfer scholarship. So like I said, we will see. And 5-star quarterback commit Julian Lewis recently accepted an invitation to the On3 Elite Series, which I don't really know exactly what that is. I don't think it's that Elite 11 stuff where most of the time the quarterbacks compete. They kind of show that off and see who's the best in the country before their senior season starts, but either way, it could be another thing, and he did accept the invitation, so we'll see what ends up going on from there. Then that defensive lineman, Jair Suggs, he recently put out a top 6 or a final 6, and it looks like USC is in there, the one from Grand Valley State University, that defensive lineman. So I know he posted up a bunch of pictures over the weekend at USC, but he's one of the first transfer guys that kept putting on his posts not committed, whether it was a story or certain things on X and certain pictures he posted up, it always said not committed behind whatever he wrote. So that was pretty funny to see, but at least he is still considering USC at this point. And there was another defensive lineman, I believe it's the 5-star Elijah Griffin, says he had set a couple of visits officially, and USC is one of them during the summer. I don't know if we've already known about that or not, but yes, at least he will be coming most likely in that June month as well. One of those big weekends. Like I always say, they usually get a bunch of the more talented guys on those weekends and try to get them to commit for the next season. I believe there was one more player. Yeah, there was this. USC is the 9th highest average rating per commit when it comes to On3 and their rankings, which is pretty cool because they only have about like 12 or 13 players committed for next year's class. But when you look at like a team like Notre Dame, who isn't even on this top 10 list, they have like 20 plus guys committed. But obviously, in one part, they're considered the number one school because they have a certain number of players committed, but a lot of those guys aren't really rated highly. So that's why they're even in this top 10. So it does show that, yeah, USC does not have the numbers technically as a Notre Dame, but still they are getting the better quality guys in a lot of people's opinion. So that is the most important thing. And true sophomore wide receiver Jacoby Lane is being praised by a lot of his teammates as the spring MVP, which is obvious because he did get more reps. I know Deuce Robinson and Zachariah Branch weren't really there for most of that spring camp because one was doing track, the other one was still doing baseball. So he did get the more reps, which helps him get out there more. And luckily, he did really good with those reps. So it looks like he's getting a lot of praise from his teammates, which is nice to see. So hopefully he can continue that into the fall once the season starts. To the ex-USC running back Marshawn Lloyd. Yes, apparently the Cowboys and the Giants were wanting to draft him a couple weeks ago, but then obviously the Green Bay Packers stepped in, so that's at least better that he did not go to the Cowboys, because that would have sucked having to semi-root for the Cowboys, at least one of their players. But apparently the Packers offensive coordinator too recently said that he wants to get Lloyd on the field as much as possible, which is obviously a good thing to say and hear, especially for a rookie. You know, coming in, they obviously want to see what you can do, especially during this time leading up to the season. But he does have an injury history, so I would not push him that hard either, because then you never know how those knees do, because he did have a couple of knee surgeries back in the day, so hopefully they don't push him that much. I believe there's an ex-punter as well from USC. His name is Ben Griffiths, who was recently invited to the Chargers mini camp. So I guess he's going to get a tryout. I know a lot of people thought it was weird that I had mocked them getting the best punter in Torrey Taylor or something like that from Iowa, who I believe got drafted by Chicago with Caleb. But yeah, I just knew that maybe they weren't really thinking the same about Ryan Ficken as the old staff did, so they're bringing in somebody else to see what he can do. And he's an Australian guy as well, so for some reason a lot of the kickers that come into the college ranks and in the league now are from Australia, which is pretty interesting. So we'll see where he ends up at the end of the Chargers minicamp. And ex-USC point guard Boogie Ellis was invited to the G League Elite Camp, so I guess he's going to be trying out for a lot of those teams in the secondary NBA league to see if he can get on one of those and maybe get drafted, because I know if you don't get drafted in the main draft, then I think the G League does their own draft as well. So hopefully he does get drafted so he doesn't have to wait, but it is another option for him if he does not want to go overseas as well. And then On3 recently did a way too early top 25 for the men's basketball side. I'll get into where Duke is ranked in another video, but yes, USC was surprisingly ranked in there as well at number 23, especially since they aren't really returning a lot of the players from last year's squad, who was ranked pretty highly. I think they're ranked like 15th overall in the country before the season started, but a lot of those guys aren't back. Many transfers, more than half the team, probably like 2/3 of the team are transfers, so they obviously have never played together, and you're only getting like 2 talented guys in the high school ranks as well. But either way, I guess they liked the new head coach better than the last and think he can do a lot more with what he's given, so hopefully that is the case. And then, yes, the Big Ten did release the women's side for their Big Ten schedule. It's a little bit interesting. I always forget that the Big Ten has Iowa as well. So, yes, sadly, Juju won't be facing against Caitlin Clark anymore, but that'll be a pretty interesting matchup later in the year. But yes, the first game was like the both home and away. It's only UCLA, which isn't surprising. All their home games are Illinois, Northwestern, Michigan, Michigan State, Ohio State, Penn State, Minnesota, and Nebraska. All away games are Indiana, Purdue, Iowa, Wisconsin, Maryland, Rutgers, Washington, and Oregon. So yeah, a couple of those interesting ones like Ohio State, USC did play last season and were able to upset that team at the time. So that'll be a pretty nice matchup. I know Rutgers kind of does good here and there, so we'll see. But yeah, other than that, I don't really think any number of these teams are really that good, in my opinion, from what I've seen the past couple of seasons on the women's side. So we'll see where USC ends up in this brand new Big Ten conference. Thanks for watching, people. Like and subscribe. Comment down below. Let me know what y'all think. Have a great rest of your day. Bye.